Number 4 is a guy that I think is somehow, some way underrated, and that is Cameron Heyward. Now, Heyward is just somebody, I mean, he's got 559 pressures for his career. He just had the most sacks he's had in a season since 2017 with 12. And, you know, the guy has had at least 50 pressures in almost every season he's played in. Just a model of consistency. I feel like I keep saying that. A big reason why this position is so important. You need guys to be consistent up front. But Cameron Heyward doesn't go away. He just continues to fall down the consensus top 10s, but he doesn't get any worse. And I'd argue he's somehow getting a little bit better even. You know, what he's done, it's allowed guys like Alex Highsmith to thrive. It's allowed guys like TJ Watt to come out and immediately make an impact. It allowed guys like Javon Hargrave to grow because Hargrave was on that defensive line. And it's why every single year it seems like, you know, the Steelers grab an interior defensive lineman since they lost Hargrave, and they just work. And I feel like that has more to do with Heyward on the defensive line than anything. So this is me planting my flag. Cam Heyward, number 4. I just think he does not get enough credit. And I don't know what I mean by that. I mean, I'm sure he gets credit, but like when I see him not even in the top 5, like I just think it's because he's not ultra athletic. He's not this sexy guy. He's not new, right? He's been around since 2011. But he's just continued to stay in that top 5 range. And look, he's getting older. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're all getting older every day. He's 34 though, right? But it doesn't mean just because he's 34 that I don't want to put him, you know, in the top 5 or the top 10. And I mean, I'm seeing him way too often, way down the list. And I'm just like, I understand you're excited. You're excited about the young, youthful exuberance of a Daron Payne, a Jonathan Allen, a Vita Vea, even Derek Brown. But if you're putting those guys on the list over him, I think that you're jumping the gun.
Yeah, jumping the gun, Jake. You called it. You jumping the gun. Cameron Heyward, Jake, you said playing since 2011. That's almost 10 to 12 years of football at the defensive line position. Like doing anything for 10 to 12 years in general is a lot. Like, wow, you know, bravo for you. But the fact that he's playing defensive line, that's tough. That's almost worse than like running back. Jay, we talk about the lifespan of a player. Running backs have a short lifespan. Defensive linemen, bro, they go through it. So the fact that he's been consistently at the top, 6'5", 295 coming out of Ohio State. You talk about consistent, Jake. I have on my notes teach tape. You cut Cam Heyward on, it's teach tape. I think you want to teach a young defensive lineman how to play football, how to play defensive line, where to be, what to do. Cut on Cam Heyward, right? He's been doing it for a long time. So he's seen the game change, evolve, and he's always been there. You think I'm not saying like he might be a Hall of Famer, he might not. I'm not sure, Jake, but the type of play he puts out there is worthy of it. And I'm not going to say he's a LeBron James, right? Because you talk about LeBron James, how he's extended his career through many generations, or your Tom Brady where he's seen it all. Cam Heyward is like one of those just old vets in the game where it's like, man, you play how many years? You survived how long? And you were at the top of the list for that many. Like that's super impressive. And I'm just going to chat through some of the stats, Jake. You talk about 12 sacks this past year, right? The most he's ever had. That's super impressive. He knows he's getting a little bit older. So he's like, you know what? Let me put some numbers up on the board on you, young cat. So I like that from him. 8th in tackles with 42, Jake. 10th in assists with 19. So the fact that he is in the top 10 in tackles at that age, he's running to the football. He's where he needs to be. He can play every position. He can be on the outside, the inside. He can do it all. So like I said, teach tape. If you want your child to play play well as a defensive lineman, cut on Cam Heyward's tape, and you're going to see them do that. In 2021, Jake, he was first in tackles with 56. Come on, fam. You're 10, you're 11 in the league, and you're first in tackles as a defensive lineman and 6 in assists, and he's second in sacks back then. So that's 11 sacks, 2021. So like you said, all I'm seeing from him, he's getting better and better each year. And you got to respect the OG like this. You know, I know we're going to talk about defensive ends pretty soon. But, you know, you got guys like Von Miller who may not be getting as many sacks as other people, but he's just seasoned, and we know what he can bring to the table. So a guy like Cam Heyward, Respect to him. I got him at my number 5, Jake.
So just to add a quick thing for Cam Heyward, the guy averages 5.4 missed tackle percentage for his career. I Bleav, I don't have confirmation on this part of it because, you know, we're recording and I just brought it up. I Bleav that's the highest among all active interior defensive linemen.
4%.
Let's put it this way.
That's crazy.
5.4%, right? Aaron Donald is 10%. Missed tackle percentage. Dexter Lawrence is 6.6%. Jeffrey Simmons is 12.6. Chris Jones, 18.
What's DeForest Buckner? Is he up there on that list?
That I'll check that right now, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
DeForest Buckner, 8.2. So yeah, I think Cam Heyward is
that's insane.
The de facto number one in terms of, you know, fewest missed tackles currently active in the NFL.
That gave me chills, Jake. That's kind of crazy, bro. And you're 10 years in the league, and you're 10 years, 12 years in the league, and you don't that's your missed tackle percentage, bro. That's guys are getting faster, stronger. That's crazy.
He has 1 year over 10. But it's 4.7, 3.7, 4.9, 4.7, 8.1, 5.9, 5.8, 2.3, 7.8, 0, and 0.
Sick. That's sick.
He's only missed 30 tackles in his career. Like, when you think about that, he's played all those seasons. Donald's missed 44. Okay. Dexter Lawrence has already missed 14 in his first 4 seasons. Jeffrey Simmons has missed 23 in his first 4 seasons, right? So then you look at Chris Jones. He's already missed 39. And then you have DeForest Buckner, who's missed 36. So, yeah, I mean, Cameron Heyward does not get enough credit. And
yeah, that's is that Hall of Fame? Can we put them in the Hall of Fame at this point? I mean, that's
what I was getting at, is that Cameron Heyward, no doubt about it, is a Hall of Famer. Yeah. There will be players that get kind of overlooked because of Donald's reign, essentially. He's not one of them that should get overlooked. I mean, I think the guys making the decision, even though Torrey Holt's not in the Hall of Fame for whatever reason, and countless others, they can't screw that up. Cam Heyward is going to make the Hall of Fame, probably first ballot, I would imagine. He's incredible. He just doesn't get enough credit. And again, it's probably because he's in the same era as Aaron Donald. I mean, if Aaron Donald didn't exist right now, Cam Heyward's probably the most all-around best defensive lineman. There might be better pass rushers, but anyway, it has become the Cam Heyward show.
Yeah, I mean, put a pin in it. That's impressive, Jake. That's really impressive. After that, I might have to move him up on my list a little bit at this point. I mean, dang.